Well, you're looking high above Jolly Farms in Hancock County over here in Sparta, and you're looking at me stepping down out of a tractor. It's not mine, it's the farmer's, thank goodness. I don't know how to do something like this, but I want to introduce you to somebody that would know a thing or two about pecans and tractors like this and this trailer. And that's Andrew Sawyer. Hey, Andrew.
Hey, Nick, how you doing?
Doing great, man. I'm so glad you're with us this month. Listen, Andrew is the area pecan agent for Georgia Cooperative Extension, and I'm so glad he's with us because we get a chance to talk about what pecan farmers are doing to control things like disease and fungus. So, Andrew, what are we looking at here? I'm very inexperienced with this, but you have a lot of experience. What is this? How does this help a farmer with fungicide?
This is an air blast sprayer.
Okay.
And the way it helps with fungicide is that this air blast sprayer shoots out our spray at a high pressure, and it goes really high, and it can reach the top of these very large old pecan trees.
And it's coming out of here.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
So when I'm driving this, and I wouldn't be driving it, but if I was driving it, I'm going at a certain speed. It's a pretty windy day out today. Talk to me about that. How does that play into what's coming out of here? I'm kind of worried about that blowing, drifting all over the place.
Yes, wind is a major factor when we spray, and if it's very high wind, we really just can't spray. Because the spray itself won't even make it up to the top of the trees, and it won't go where you want it to go.
Okay.
And so, you know, days like this aren't your best days to spray. But, you know, generally later on in the day, the wind dies down, and sometimes some people have to spray, you know, just later, almost toward the night, you know, just to get it. But we don't really do that much. But generally, you just do it on a day that you just don't have much wind.
So now this thing right here is pointing straight up, but this I think moves.
It does, yeah. It goes back and forth, yeah.
So if I'm sitting in this tractor,
right.
It's nice that it's an enclosed cab.
That's right. You got to be.
Oh, it does. So
Just
if it's
about,
not,
yeah.
is that a problem?
Yeah, you really don't want to be putting out these kind of fungicides and insecticides that are not, you know, in a closed cab tractor for sure.
Okay.
Because obviously, when you see this, it nearly comes out as a mist. And to reach the top of the trees, you're going to go really slow. And so in a way, it just kind of fogs itself up. And so that's why you always want to be in something like a closed cab tractor.
Good, and it's reaching a fungicide? That's what it's getting?
That's right, it's getting a fungus called Pecan scab.
Beautiful. Well, I want to show another tractor here next that's doing a different kind of spraying and talk about how important that is, but I'm so glad we discussed this because I was very curious, what is this? So let's roll over there next. Okay, so what you're looking at there are the little nozzles of a herbicide sprayer. So Andrew went from fungicide and the air blast technique down to what seems like a very precision ag-based approach to putting herbicide down. Talk to us about how this works in terms of calibration.
You know, in terms of calibration, one of our first things is speed. So you want to know how fast we're going. This is a herbicide sprayer, and you're looking at something that's got a specific design here that actually is helping with the wind that we have up in this area of the state.
I noticed this on the back, kind of keeping that wind, and this is up against the ground, which is cool.
Right. Yeah, so usually rides a little bit lower than this, but what this is doing is spraying the ground right down on each side of the tree. So when pecan trees are young, they have to have weed control because these weeds that you see, their roots grow really deep, and that impacts the root growth of these young trees. So you will get much better growth on trees and honestly survival of trees when we treat with herbicide like this. So when we calibrate, the first thing we got to know is our speed. But this is a herbicide sprayer that we use as an air blast for fungicide insecticide.
Right.
And the difference is how much water we're putting out. So when we're doing that air blast sprayer, on mature trees, large trees, we're looking at 100 gallons of water per acre. It's got to be a lot, because that water's got to be able to mist and move up in the tree. Here, we put out 20, 25 gallons of water. Okay. And even that number is, you know, some herbicide sprayer may do as little as 10, but 10 gallons per acre. But the reason you got to think a little bit about how much water you're putting out, because you got to have good coverage over the weeds that you're spraying. Right. So if the spray coming out is too coarse, or we don't have enough water coming out, you don't get a good coverage of those weeds.
Right. Well, I want to talk next about some of these little trees with the cone around them and talk about that tree guard and what that means from an insect side. So let's roll on over there next. Well, as I was driving in here today, I saw this field, beautiful field, full of these little trees with the tree guards on them. talk to me about why that's there. I immediately thought deer and rabbits, but you would say otherwise.
Well, it's actually to protect from herbicide.
Huh.
So when the trees are young, they don't have established bark, and if the herbicide hits that tree, it can take it in, and especially this tree was just planted. So that's what a brand new planted pecan tree looks like. It's cut off real short, and it's stressed out. Roots were pruned, and it's needing water. It's got to grow those roots, and then it's going to start growing some shoots. But that whole first year, it's got to have no weeds around it. But if it gets a little, herbicide that touches it, it could send it to a little stress, and it can just crash it and it'll kill it.
Wow.
So that's actually why these are out here. But the beetles get in them.
So these are ambrosia beetles.
Yes.
And I think we're looking at some effects of ambrosia beetle.
Yeah.
What do? They're drilling in?
They're drilling in the trees.
Okay.
Yeah, and they've been around here for a long time. I mean, they've been here, but they love trees, hardwood trees that are 1, 2, and 3 years old. But really, these 1 and 2 year old trees, they're stressed out. They emitting a lot of pheromone, something called ethylene, and the beetles, they're responding to that. And once that female beetle starts flying in the spring, she's going to come to these younger trees. So when we did work on this the last few years, we set up a treatment where the only treatment was a tree guard. And what we found is that they like going in the tree guard. The control had just as many beetles as the tree guard. And talking to growers, you'll hear that too. And so it makes treating for it more difficult. We could use an air blast sprayer, but we'd have to take all of these things off.
Sure.
So, but the beetles are very particular. So what we do instead is we trap them, and we catch locations where they're more active.
And that's that little trap, that log that we're looking at.
That little log. We just cut down a log out in the woods, and then put some denatured alcohol, ethanol in there, and then they come to it, and then we know, okay, this is where they're active. And the spray for this is actually more of a shotgun approach. You're actually just mixing up spray, and you're spraying directly down into there, and it's lasting maybe 2 weeks if it doesn't rain, and then you're getting us through the period of the spring when they are active. But once we get to June, they're not active, and so you can kind of go on about your way.
And this has been so enlightening for me today. Andrew, thanks so much for hanging out with me. This is such a great, I'm nuts about pecans, so cool. While you're online learning more about pecans and more about what Andrew and others are doing, check out the Farm Monitor Facebook page, see what's going on there, and the Ranger Nick Facebook page. And until next time, Andrew, as we always say, for the Farm Monitor, I'm Ranger Nick, reminding you that enthusiasm is contagious, so pass it on. Y'all, thanks so much for watching. We'll see you back here again next month. See ya.